What's up, guys? We're back with some more Run 8 action, and we're going to be continuing our A724, this time up to Cordele. We got a little bit of a set out to make at Cordele. We're just north of Hatley, between Hatley and Cordele, so we have skipped ahead a bit. I did a video Friday. I had all intentions of posting a video Friday, and basically I wound up deleting it. Like, I accidentally deleted the video, so that's why we're skipping ahead. But I mean, honestly, you're not missing much of anything. There's not a lot between Fitzgerald and Hatley. You know, Fitzgerald, Rebecca, Hatley. Fitzgerald and Rebecca is a really super long block, and it's a lot of countryside and stuff. So we'll do the Cordele thing. We'll go up to Ross, actually, is where we're going to make this set out. I think they did it at Ross so they wouldn't tie up all those crossings down in Cordele proper. You know, we talked about that the last video. About the one crossing down there. Actually, no, we didn't talk about that because that video got deleted. So basically, in Cordele, there was a road crossing somewhere along the siding. I can't remember which one it was exactly. I'd have to go back and maybe look at Google Maps or something, but there was a crossing that we had to cut. Anytime we went in the hole there and we were going to be there for longer than 5 minutes, we would have to cut that crossing, which was pretty much every single time, it seemed like. I never forget, I had to cut it in the rain one time. Like, that one really sticks out to me because I had to walk down there in the rain. I had to make the cut, you know, I had to cut the crossing, and then basically I hung out under the overhang of a covered hopper that was right there at the cutout, or at the spot where we had to cut. So yeah, I definitely remember that. It was like it's like a state, I think it was a state trooper post or something, or maybe a hospital. There was some reason we couldn't block that crossing. They didn't want us blocking that crossing. They were very adamant about not blocking that crossing for an extended period of time. So that's why I don't know for sure, but I feel like the setouts and the pickups were made at Ross versus the siding, the little storage track down there at Cordele. At least that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it that way. Basically try not to sew up the entire town while we do that. It's not a big cut. It's not sizable at all, so it should be pretty quick. But Ross is a really good place. There's not much going on out there at Ross. Okay, I know we're by the intermediate. Oof, little rough curve there. I like that though. I like that a lot. We need more bumps and dips and places to kind of rock you a little bit like that. All right, there's the distance to Cordele. Got it clear. So far, it's been a good running train. I've enjoyed it. She's been a lot of fun. We'll continue it. We'll take her up to Brown Sand, and then maybe we'll live stream it back. I think I talked about this in the video that I deleted. That's my dilemma, right? Like, I talked about a bunch of stuff, and then now I'm like, I think that all got deleted. Alright, hit you, and we should be the, maybe that's north end right there. I can't quite tell. I think that is, maybe peeking through the trees there. Or south end of Cordele, I should say south end. This is probably one of the few spots that I'm actually going to use dynamics. I think so. Yeah, we got to clear on the south end. Let's go into dynamics. Yeah, I don't do a lot with dynamics on the Fitz. You guys know that if you've watched me run this sub. I'm an air guy on this sub. I just like having the power available instantly when I need it, you know. Doing a little light dynamic here. It's going to start really dropping off. And then we got the 30. There's going to be a 30-mile-an-hour diamond board right there at the south end of Cordele, so we got to keep an eye out for him too. That's our 50 right here. Cordele's honestly like coming northbound into Cordele here and slowing up for this 30 at the north end is one of my favorite spots in the game to run, especially with a tonnage train that's moving along pretty good on the route. There's just a lot going on. You're blowing for the crossings. You got to manipulate the air. You know, if you're in dynamics, you got to do that too. It's just... I don't think it was this crossing. I think it was one of the next ones on down that we couldn't do a little bit of air here. Now that we've grabbed some air, we'll start backing out of the power or backing out of the dynamic and getting ready to go back into power so we can kind of drag out that little sag down here on the... I think it may have been this crossing right here was the one that we had to cut. Either this one or the next one down, one of the two. Although I don't remember it being around a storage track, so it may have been this one. Let's go ahead and come out of dynamics. We'll just keep letting her do her thing. Go ahead and start back motoring here. Go ahead and get a little more air. We do have a car back there that's prone to stuck brakes. I don't know if that carries over with every save or not. I'm really fuzzy on that, but we do have a car back there that is prone to it. All right, I got clear on the north end of Cordele. Hopefully that'll be good for us right there. The diamond board's literally right there, so pretty close. All right, got it clear. I remember I was on a train once. We were dropping down into Cordele just like this. It was some kind of slot freight, and I remember we had the SC70 MAC on the head end, and we were dropping into Cordele just like this, coming down to the big grade in the town there, and in dynamics, and all of a sudden, I don't know what happened, if the dynamics dropped out on us for a second or what, but like all the slack ran out, and I felt like we went on the ground. Like it was so violent and hard. It was so violent and hard, and we went in emergency and stopped like right in the middle of the town. And I immediately got up and got the air hose wrench and air hose because I thought we did like we busted something back there, right? Like we had to have. And my engineer's like, hold on, let's just see if the air comes back up, and it did. So we were good to go. I don't know what happened. It was really kind of weird. There, we were southern crossing there. Oh, we need to request the next sighting. Almost forgot that. Next sighting, there we go. Yeah, there we go. All right, we need to go in at Ross. We don't need a light to tell us that because we already know. You know the routine. You work these jobs enough. You know the routine that's involved with it. There you go. Got a medium approach in. It's kind of a tricky location right here. It's a pretty good sag. It's so, like, you got to maintain this 30, but you need the power to pull out of it, too. You can see it there. Honestly, to me, it's like one of the trickier spots. Let's get a little air. We'll get a minimum. We're not worried about stuck brakes at this point because we're going to be stopping up here anyway, so we'll go with it. We'll get a little bit. If we have to drag on her some, we can pull it. It is a 30-mile-an-hour switch. It's one of the few. If I think there's more than this one, but you know, you got some sightings, you get a medium indication in, it's a 25-mile-an-hour switch. So I was like that on the Limeville sub. On the Limeville side, all the switches on the signal sightings were 25. None of them were good for 30. So you get a medium aspect, but you could only do the 30, or I mean, only do 25. Going in or going out, Ross is definitely 30. There may be one or two more. I have to go back and look at the timetable, but Ross was actually the very first signal sighting on the entire Fitz. It is the OG. Start pulling on a little bit here. Let's go ahead and let go of it. Sweet. Okay, we're good with that. Yeah, we gotta do our set out up here at the storage tracks. Inside track, outside track, middle track, outside track, whatever you want to call them. Hopefully, within the next week or so, we can get back to streaming. I think once school starts back and things kind of settle down and I get like a good morning routine. My two oldest daughters, they had their first softball tournament Thursday. We were going all day to that. It was like 107 degrees. It was crazy hot. Up into Oklahoma Panhandle. And they lost their first game. They lost their first one by 1 point. It was really close. It was really close. But they did win their second game by like 5. I think, yeah, they did really good their second game. I was thoroughly impressed. It was a lot of fun. Then they got 2 games tomorrow. They got a doubleheader tomorrow. So we've just we've had a whole lot going on, guys. Like, it's been kind of crazy. Drop her a little bit because I feel like our storage tracks are about to start up here. No, we're at... It's like right there on the... Yeah, just on the other side of that crossing up there. Yeah, Ross is just a really good spot to do all this set out, pick up. Although I don't know if I ever went in a siding at Ross. I don't remember it. It may have been something that just don't stand out to me, but I don't remember going in the hole at Ross. Maybe we did and I just didn't care. Like it just wasn't noteworthy. A little bit of a dip here. All right, well, tracks are empty, so we've definitely got one to set out, and unfortunately, we don't have a southbound pickup if we make the return trip, which we may have to remedy that somehow. I don't know. We might have to do the Cordele switcher sometime. And see if we can come up with something. It's not a very long storage track, that's for sure. It's not nearly as long as I thought it was. There we go. That gotta be good. If we drag her up here to the switch, we'll cut off. We don't have to clear the switch because we gotta make our cut, so we'll just kind of ease by it. That should do right there. I think we're gonna go in the middle track. It don't really matter. All right, let's hop down. All right, that one's line. Check your points. Sweet, yeah, always check your points. All right, we gotta get ready to stop, make our cut up here. It's gonna be right here after these grain hoppers here, fertilizer hoppers, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, it's our Oglethorpe cut. Yeah, good right here. Sweet. I have to take a little slack. All right. All right, we'll do that real quick. Sweet, should be good enough. Open coupler. All right, let's take him ahead. those big chip hoppers there for Oglethorpe for chip mill. All right, that'll do right there. Make sure she doesn't roll back on us, roll back through the switch. All right, let's catch up. All right, switch is lined in the clear. Let's bring them back. That Cordele switcher might be a good one to work sometime. We might do that. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Always be sure to smash that like for me too. It's always very much appreciated. It helps the channel out a great deal to leave those comments, and be sure to hit that like. YouTube likes it. YouTube likes the like. Cordele would be interesting. I'd have to think about it a little bit, like how we could get all like the facing points and the trailing points and all that stuff. Should totally fit. Alright, looks like just a little bit more. And we don't necessarily have to hit all the places in Cordele on the same day. You could absolutely break it up. You could hit some one day and some another day, or... You know, at least all the locals that I work, they're very routine oriented. Like, you had certain things that you did on certain days. You had certain days were your long days, certain days were your short days. There, I think right here is good. Couple handbrakes. There we go. Close you out. Once again, gotta take a little slack. There we go. Catch up. This is where, man, I wish we could hang our head out just a little bit. All right, just a little bit, just so we can see around the locomotive. Absolutely, absolutely has to be a feature for the next Run 8. 1000%, you got to have that. Alright, that'll do right there. Get our switch. All right, switch is loud and clear. Let's come back to a couple. I do like having the speed listed on the rail driver. You can change it up. We've looked at that before. There's a lot of different things you can put on that, but it's really nice when you're switching to be able to kind of just look down and see. Let's hop down. All right, there we go. Sweet. All right, let's lace them up. Guess we should have stretched it before we did that. Make sure we had them. We'll do that real quick. Yep, we're good. Sweet. All right, we'll let her keep pumping up, and we'll be good to go. We got left train wise 8.5 HPT, 1,400 tons. 1,885 feet. We've got 4 loads and 28 empty. So yeah, our trade is progressively getting smaller as we go along. Got our Oglethorpe cut on the head end here, and brown sand. Yeah, we got a brown sand cut there. So brown sand's the one I'm not sure. Like, I know I've seen them up there. I've got engines off of them tied down at brown sand. You see plenty of videos of 723, 724 back in the day with rock hoppers on the bottom. So I think what could have possibly happened was that like the sand turn would go up there out of Oglethorpe, and they would work brown sand and just leave the cars up there, and then they would be picked up that way, that sort of thing. It's the only thing I can think of. I'm not 100% certain on that. What do we got up here? Do we even have anything? I don't think we do at the moment. I don't think there's anything up here. Yeah, nothing. Nothing at all. So what? Is there anything in the quarry up here? Now the 2 quarries up here, I never... oh yeah, there's plenty in here. Yeah, there's a lot. Looks like a some kind of unit train. Yeah, K-train. A decent K-train there. Yeah, I've never been in here. Never been here. Don't know anything about it. We didn't protect these jobs, so I'm pretty certain. Of course, they did unit trains, right? They absolutely did unit trains out of here, but I think they did some non-unit stuff too, like some, you know, carload stuff, single cars, or just a handful of cars, that sort of thing. And then we got the other place up here. Yeah. A749, so he's got a good bit of stuff too going to oh, it's okay. It's got some empties in here too. I got to research this. I don't even know how this operates like within the confines of the game. I don't know. A750 JCM. I don't know what that is. I don't know these train symbols. A750 JCB. All right, that is right. I read that right down here. JCM. Okay, 750 JCM. JCB. And then K749 CYB. Yeah, I don't know. I need to look these. I need to try to figure out exactly what's going on with that. The rock ops, even like for back in the day, I don't know much about. I know they're out there, but like I said, it's something that we didn't we never touched. We never did anything with it. So we do have that. This is just K983, so this must be an off-route train, I'm assuming. Yeah, he's got to be off-route. So we're going to have to come up with some single car loads to pull out of here if we wanted to. I mean, we don't necessarily have to. We could just leave out of here with light engines and then go to Oglethorpe and start the reverse trip that way. Yeah, usually this track is full of rock hoppers. Yeah, we do have this place here. This place, this actually, I don't know what this is all about, but they did sand there. So we're going to delete that. Let's get rid of that real fast. Delete that. All right, yeah, I think let's go back to Ross. Yeah, I was just trying to get an idea of like what we want to do as the videos progress. Of course, we got to make a set out at Oglethorpe, and then we'll go to Brown Sand. We'll make a set out. I'm just trying to think about like what our return trip is going to be like and what we need to do to get ready for that. We definitely need to work the Cordele switcher. If you want to see a video of that, let me know. We'll do something on it and build a little outbound cut for us. There's definitely plenty of stuff to pick up out here, and we'll just yeah, I'm not sure on the rock stuff yet. I got to research that a little bit. We'll see. We might have a little something up there to pick up later, but then at that point we need to run a sand turn and all that stuff, and I don't know if I necessarily want to do that. So we may bring these things back light to Oglethorpe, which is okay. It's not out of the realm of possibility. That's absolutely doable, so we could probably do that. Plus we'd have the Conrail leader too. That's going to be kind of cool. Anyway guys, love all of you. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to hit that like down below, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.